Hello, Samara. Oh, very well. How are you? Hi, Natasha. How are you? Welcome. I feel like as if we are a bit more energetic than the usual first days. Actually, the energy feels a bit lighter. I was able to fix a bit my pin sound thing instrument. So I'm going to play it a bit because the other day, that I tried to play it and actually it sounded awful, and it's because one of the parts that hold this pin was broken, so this what like the sound was awful. So I'm going to try to play it again to complete the cleansing process. How has it been, guys, for you, your week so far? I've been feeling a ridiculous amount of anxiety lately, but it comes when I'm chatting live or in the chat. Hola, Alison. Stressful and boring. Well, it's almost over, guys. How do I say, Alison, if you speak, I don't know if you speak Spanish, but how do they call it in English? Viernes Santo. Because I know it's Easter, but for us Catholic people, tomorrow is a religious holiday, or kind of. I don't know if you are Catholic, maybe you know about it. So this is why I wanted to take a moment to okay. Yes, I wanted to Google it actually, but I didn't have the chance. And now that I'm live, I cannot do it. Um, but it's a Catholic celebration that it has to do with Jesus. And, I don't practice Catholicism. I'm not active in the community, but I was raised as a Catholic. So I am very respectful. So, for I think it's Good Friday. Ah, Good Friday. Viernes Santo. Like a Holy Friday would be the very literal translation. We would be like, Viernes Santo for us would be like Holy Friday. But it makes sense that it's Good Friday, yes. Good Friday in America. Okay. So when we are in this period, I try to not use the tarot. Out of respect, because a lot of people are doing their religious practices, and even if I don't do it, I try to leave the because as you know, the cards are a way of channeling, things. So I don't want to attract anything. Like, I want to remain respectful. Then Resurrection Day is Easter. Yes. So I think that probably I will be pulling cards today, but I don't know about Sunday, actually. Maybe I can go live and we can like come out with an idea or something to talk about, or I can like we can talk about astrology. You can actually, I'm going to put like a poll so you can vote about what subjects about astrology you would like me to talk, and we can use our favorite artist birth dates or your own birth dates, not birth dates, birth charts, so we can discuss it. But I think that at that day I'm not going to be pulling cards, because I had, hola Leonor, I was raised in a Christian household, so that's how I know. Yes, yes, me too. So, even though I do not practice that, I don't consider myself a Catholic because I'm not that religious. But in my house, we do have, my mom used to have a lot of saints. She had her own altar in my house that it was somehow left to me to take care of it, so I do put some flowers. Sometimes I lit a candle because she used to do it. It was her tradition and her family's, so I try to respect that. And it's because also I grew up with it. What I don't trust or I don't follow is institutions, So, but I am very connected to this is very traditional, and it had happened to me, that not with the tarot, because I don't think I read tarot in these days, like in these specific religious days. But for example, it had happened very curious circumstances where I wanted to light a candle in a day that actually I think it was on Resurrection Day, and I almost burned myself and burned the whole house down. So, and I even have the mark on my arm of how the flames like flew out everywhere and I hurt myself. So I think I am not superstitious nor anything, but I think that everything somehow is related. So we do have to be respectful, especially when you're working with energies, and the tarot is a sort of channel, of energies, whether you want to admit it or not, or whether you do, like I always do, I take my time to sage. I say my prayers, I put an intention to my work before and after doing readings. But you never know, maybe, I don't know, your guardian angels, the universe, God, whoever is like, not today, like not today. So I want to be respectful in that way. I feel we can just talk like we usually do, just without pulling a card. Yes, I'm going to do a post about what subject of astrology you'd like me to talk about, and we can like I can gather information about that. As always, I'm really thankful because I posted yesterday about the the tarot readings that I'm offering, and I was very blessed because a few people actually contacted me for their personal readings. So I'm really excited. I was working all day long with them because I wanted to deliver it before tomorrow. Um, so, I'm really excited. I'm really grateful that actually people can, like, connect with what I do. I think that that's very important to me. That there are a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't know any of these people that you read about, but somehow I like the way you read cards. So do you think we should create a Discord? There's a Discord. I created it. Aren't you in there? There's a Discord somewhere. But we come and go. I'm not really that present because I do not have the notifications on. And it was a whole process for me to create that Discord server. It was. Oh yes, it's working. I think I did share the. I did publish a post with the link. Um, so But yes, there are a few people in there. I think there are like 4 people or 5, including myself. But yes, they are the same ones that we chat here. We are these people. So I'm really excited. But I just, I don't know how to like be more present. Like I try to say hi to people that come in, but like I don't get the notifications, so. Because I work with my phone, so I try to keep it notifications free. A community post. A community post. It was only, I think that the community post was only to announce that the Discord server was already made. Um, yes, Natasha is there. I did share a very interesting um, post of a favorite astrologer that I follow on Twitter, but she has her own page as well, and I think she's on Instagram, and she is amazing. She is amazing. The way she describes the placements, I always feel so connected to the way she describes it. It's very important for us to for me to talk about astrology, and especially this is why maybe sometimes I bore people because I'm like, oh, I knew this person that had this placement, or my former lover had this placement, or I have this placement, and it may sound egotistic, but actually I do it so I can give you like a sort of graphic explanation or experience of what it feels like to have that or to have an interaction with people of that placement. And this is why I take also the idols as example, because if I'm going to be very technical, about, okay, what is a moon in Taurus like, and I'm going to give you all the traits, it's the same as you Googling it online, so I want to give it like a more profound, like, meaning, that somehow it stays in your mind, like, oh, she told me this, she reminded me of this example, so now I understand that placement better. Because, I don't like that, like, um, I'm not really good at intellectual things. I mean, I can be, I'm a fast learner, but for me, when I deliver a message or when I share information, I try to do it from a very sentimental and emotional kind of atmosphere, because At least that's the way I absorb information the best, when I try to describe it, so that's why I take examples of real life, real people, or the idols, situations that we had seen the idols go through. For example, now that we are in Aries still, I should do a series of Aries moon idols. But since I started talking about the Aries season, I think that it somehow covered the. I mentioned a lot of things about Aries. I think a lot of people don't look at the community tab. Oh, yes, I think so. Yes, yes. Um, yeah, you know how this this platform works. Somehow, the important things like the information or something, it doesn't appear. Sometimes I upload a video and it's not. I have to go the to my subscriptions tab so I can look at it, but it doesn't like come out on my timeline. So you know how it works. Okay, great. We are a bit more. We are a bit about number, and the same thing happened with me and the creation and my TikTok and the creation of my other Instagram that only a few people follow me. So then I deleted it because I was like, okay, nobody's following me there. So let's just take one platform at a time. I'm really grateful for the followers that I do have, even if they are casuals, if they don't follow me. Like, the most important thing is that I have you guys, that you are like the most dedicated and that you are always here. For me, it's more important to have that instead of a lot of people following me, but actually being anonymous, being completely anonymous. Like, there must be a reason why there's always like, and I don't think it's about time zones, because I was like looking at the lives, the one after I finish it, I uploaded to the channel, and I think that those videos receive like 200 views as tops, 200 and something. And I do have like 1,000 followers. So, like, but I just, I do what I can, I upload almost every day. So, it's not about not being present or not having content. I actually do it. And I think that next month, my work time is going to change. So I'm going to have to see how I'm going to, balance work and creating the videos. But I'm going to try to keep it, you know, to keep it alive, of course. But it's going to take a lot of effort from me. But I'm going to do it. Yes, YouTube is difficult. Yes, it's difficult. But anyways, I'm really excited because actually I think that somehow the people that at the beginning were so like they oh, thank you, Samara. Yes, I like that idea. I think that I'm actually a bit more comfortable, with our community, because somehow those people that used to come in and being really like hateful or being really ignorant into a lot of things about how to request a tarot reading or what to ask or how to ask it, and actually like having these very like narrow-minded perceptions of a reading that I did, and it's like you are not getting the message. It's like you weren't paying attention. You didn't listen to me. You are here because you want a confirmation of if this idol is dating the other, and if this person is dating the other, and if there's like a secret, and I don't do that. I don't do that. And especially if I don't see it. I think that we already have a lot of speculative people on the internet. You don't need me and my cards to add more fire to that. Hi, Eva. So, as you know, the title of of today's lives is going to it's going to be about K-dramas. Yes, definitely, Samara. It's true. It's true. Um, I definitely agree with what you say. But I am so grateful, guys, because I see how you also behave around each other. You support each other even though you don't know each other, but you are very supportive and respectful of each other's point of view. Even though, yes, we are usually the same seven, six people. But I think that it's so nice to be able to read you all. And, odio eso. En algunas lecturas que he visto, alguien dice lo más mínimo sobre un idol y en los comentarios se hacen una historia. Se hacen una historia. Solo desean confirmación de sus propias opiniones. Exactly. There's like a lot of like dramatism, around what you see on the tarot. And they are like, oh, but what did you mean with what you said in minute something? Oh, maybe this means that this, or maybe this means that, and it's like almost trying to force you to confirm or deny what they are creating in their own minds. It's their own opinion, it's their own perception. So what they need is to be like, oh, because a tarot reader told me this. I saw a tarot reader on YouTube that she said this. So, I'm supported by this person that the card said that this is true. So I'm right. So my perceptions are correct. And actually, we don't know these people. This is the thing, that we don't know them. We don't know them, and sometimes it's better to not know it all. And this is something that I also tell my clients or my consultants, people that consult the tarot. When they start asking me, oh, how does this person feel about me, or this person hasn't contacted me, so I want to know what does he or she plan to do, why they are far away from me. And it's human nature to actually being curious. We all have been there where you want to ask the tarot like what's going on with that person, like I don't understand what happened between us, and I think that I always tell this person that, okay, I'm going to do this reading, but I'm going to include you in the reading. I'm not going to ask for this person, and to dig into this person, because I need to see what this connection means to you and why this question is so important to you. Because I'm going to be really honest and I'm going to give you guys my perspective about asking the tarot how does someone feels about you, or if that person loves you or not. What I learned with the tarot is that if you have to ask the tarot, how does someone feel about you, you are in trouble. Because if you do have a way of communication, if you have like a connection with that person, why don't you ask that person yourself? When you feel like you need to go to a third party or an stranger and ask them, how does this person feel about me? Is this person going to come back? Is this person thinking about me? Like, what's going on in there? Because if that person is distant or if that person is gone from your life, maybe it would be easier to be like, okay, maybe with this absence, or maybe with this distance, or with this non-communication, maybe this person is giving you a message. Here in this chat, we ask questions and have deeper discussions because I personally not be respectful, don't care for talking in cycles. And I'm not saying it's because of me, I'm just saying that's how I contribute, yes, and get straight to the point and respect others' opinions, exactly. I think it's better to ask for a self-reading and not about people. Exactly, Eva, exactly. It's always about us. It's always about us. And with me saying this, that, that if you start asking the tarot about, about how does someone feel about you, it's not, we all been there. We all want to know. I had been there. I wanted to know. But then eventually I started to analyze myself. Like, why do I get involved, or do I get involved with someone that I wasn't able to see? Because it's not like that person didn't give me signs. It's more like I couldn't see it. It's as if this person had shown me who they were from minute one, from the start, and I was so blinded because I wanted, just like people that, we were talking, like, oh, maybe they expect the tarot, or I expect someone and a guide, like a sign that things are going to be different. And that maybe the answer, I already have it. It's just that it's hard for me to accept that maybe I'm not that special for that person, or maybe that person has other priorities, or maybe that person has other other opportunities, or maybe they're not that into me, you know? Hello, Rem. I don't know if you call it Rem or Rim. Sometimes I feel like people who ask these questions are one of two things: have a bad perception of their partners, especially with them, is their partners keeping them guessing. Exactly. Like, I have Neptune in my first house and racing, so it's hard to know myself, I think. So tarot to help me let me know myself. Yes, Eva. It's just that, look, I have Mercury in the 12th house. I have Neptune in the 12th house, so definitely talk about being confused. And actually, like, I remember that because Mercury is like our way of expression, so I have it, I have it on the 12th house, so, it's as if I was a Pisces Mercury. So what I learned is that, okay, maybe, like I mentioned, if I have trouble and I sound confusing to people, maybe I should take lessons to be better at the way I speak, or the way I deliver a message. Those things can be, with the proper training or with the proper help of someone, you can change those things. You can modify those things that you're like, maybe, like, I don't know if I'm that good. I often got very misunderstood for the things that I used to say. Like, we had talked about this, being sometimes too blunt, or being, so I learned that I had to like somehow master because when you think about a Neptune in the first house, that it's like a Pisces rising. So yes, you are going to be like very confused because you are like this sort of antenna that you are absorbing everyone and the whole universe like vibes. So you are like this sponge. So you definitely need to work on protecting yourself. Like put healthy boundaries, like when you feel like you are feeling too overwhelmed with the information that comes your way, or with people being too pushy or bossy with you and trying to like like invade your space. Learn to put boundaries. Learn to to walk away and to be absent of moments where you feel like it's too much, with a lot of respect and with a lot of class and delicacy, but do it. When I became an adult, I understood myself very well and I couldn't as a child. So it also has to do with maturity. Of course. Of course. Yes. We as a child or maybe as a young adult, it depends of what we experience in our surroundings or in our family. So we somehow like adopt what we see in our family. So when we have to go out to the real world, we are not ready. We are going to meet a lot of toxic people. We are going to meet people that wants to be friends with us just so they can take advantage of us. So we do need to train our our perception, and also like learn to open your eyes to who is who. Like when you feel like you are not comfortable with something, or when something you don't feel like is for you, being very respectful, get up and get out. Like like I always say, very like in a very pacific, very peaceful way, like hello, like oh yes, thank you, bye. Bye. And like, because there were things I had to admit. I still don't understand myself fully to be quiet. Yes, my Libra moon was feeding me lies. Um, it's just that Libra moon is they're always very pleasant, but like I always say, like don't to don't turn into a Will Smith. I'm sorry that I'm bringing Will Smith again to this, but don't let it get there, because this usually happens with Libra placements, that they are so nice, they are so understanding, they are so cool, they are so welcoming, they are so like they're always ready to include people, like, oh, how are you? Yes. So learn to let people know that you are much more than nice. That you are much more than this smiley and outgoing and eager to please person. That there's a bit of darkness in you. Because people, when they think that, yes, people when they think that they got you, or that you are willing to please, or that you you try to keep things balanced, and for you maybe confrontation, or to be like, oh, okay, I don't like this, I'm going to go. You try to be respectful, you consider what the others feel, you try to keep a balance. So you know sometimes people get used to this, to the idea of, oh, she's so nice. She's going to understand me. Like, I don't care. Like, she's going to really understand me, or understand if I mess up. She's going to be understanding, and she's going to give me a second chance, or she's going to be, uh, I don't know, like, there's a lot of things that you do need, and also like connect with your anger. If you're angry, it like, like, don't like don't hold back being angry, because I know it's not pleasant to feel angry, but it's not also pleasant to be passive aggressive, because people don't get it. If you're mad, you are mad. Don't try to disguise it as if nothing is going on. I always end up getting severely hurt and emotionally drained after confrontations and arguments, while other people don't care and get over within minutes. Yes. I have Mars in Pisces, I know. I know. And I also have Libra in my midheaven. So, especially when I am at work, I'm always seen and considered as this mediator, because I do have that ability. I somehow transform. I could be bossy. I sometimes have my moments where I'm bossy, but when it comes to dealing with a group of people, I always try to see the best side, and be hopeful and be positive. Um, so I never will that Aries in Mars keeps others in check. Yes, Aries in Mars actually is really funny, because they always, like, I had friends with Aries, with Mars in Aries, that they would run me over. Like, they would, like, get in my, like, they would be passing near me and they would, like, push me, like, not intentionally, of course, but they do have this strong body, and like this very, like, get out of my way, like I'm busy doing something. So if you don't get out of their way, they're going to, like, crash with you. They're going to push you, or not push you, but they're going to, like, pass or run you over if they have the chance, because they are so focused on action. So if you see them passing by near you, like, move, like, make way, you know like this, give them space, they're busy, they are hurry, they are in a hurry, they're always in a hurry. you know it looks like they work in a year. Having a moon in Libra's hard, then you open up about how something still hurts you, people get shocked that you haven't gotten over stuff. Yes. Yes. It's just that, I don't know. I always think that at first I didn't understand Libra placements. For me it was like I couldn't understand how they got over things so fast. And it's not about getting over them, because actually they don't get over it, but they act like, as if they got over things. And they always show you, like, the brightest smile. And you are like, that person just, like, disrespected you. Why are you smiling? But then I realized that this is the way I was perceived as well, especially in the public perception, like, at work, for example. So I was like, oh, there's Libra in me as well. So Samara, I'm a rising answer. We have the same placements. Yes, you do have the same placements. Yes. You do have the same placements. It's just that that's your answer. The Cancer rising, it, like you mentioned, Rim, it has to do with not being able to let go of the past or of past things. Probably you are like, okay, like, my sun sign is very cool with the idea of, like, nothing happened here, like, denying that actually this was uh, serious for me, that this really hurt me. But somehow your rising is like, eventually it puts you in a place of, oh, I don't forget what happened or what you said to me in the past. So maybe that's why sometimes you do have this perception of, I'm not over yet a certain things. By the way, how is a rising sign supposed to affect you? How is how people first perceive you? Yes, it could like be your physical attributes because it's on the first house. That is a house of uh, your external expression. Um, but I think that the energy of the rising actually is like this energy that is going to be present in your life, especially is going to make really a very strong presence after you turn 28. That's where Saturn makes its return. So after you turn 28, you will start to live a lot of situations that have to do with your rising, or a lot of topics that have to do with your rising. It seems like that energy is going to slowly move you to those sort of, if you are a Cancer rising, a Cancerian experience. In some websites, I have some placements in house 10 and in others house 11, so I'm not sure about placements. Actually, the most trustworthy website that I use is astro.com. That's the only one I use. And my astrologer teacher, she uses that as well. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's just that a Cancer in the first house, it's like somehow what you feel emotionally is going to be very exposed to the public. So maybe you will have, yes, very emotional moments in a very public, or other people are going to be able to see it in your face when something affects you. You are not going to be able to hide it. There's going to be noticeable for others that you are affected emotionally by something. And also, I think that it has to do with you also being very blunt about how you feel about the situation. You probably, if there's something that you do not agree on, or there's something that is bothering you, you definitely with Cancer in as a rising, you will be like, people will be able to tell if you have like mood swings and changes, because the moon is like very, like, it's as if your moon was also in the first house, because the moon is also Cancer planet. Yes, there's this net. This is why the crab, the Cancer animal, is shielded. The crab has its shelter. It's because they are protecting themselves. They are because Cancer is a leader. Actually, Cancer is one of the cardinal signs. So Cancer has the wait. I'm moving my Cancer has the potential of being a great leader, a great motivator, but they do need to, in order for them to move on with that sensitive energy, they need to shield themselves somehow, And actually, I met a lot of Cancer people that look really tough. Like, I don't know if you notice, a lot of Cancer idols, they look tough. They don't look like, maybe if you get to know them later, um, you're like, okay, like, yes, we know that he's a sweet guy, but in appearance, they have other side to them that they show people, especially when they don't know that person. Actually, Cancer can be really cold. The other day I was thinking, like, who would be like the most likely to ghost you, and I was thinking, like, yes, Pisces, because Pisces is they evade, and and then I was thinking that the cancers are as well. A lot of people think that, oh, cancer males are really sweet, but actually they look really intimidating. Mm-hmm. Yes. Soft on the inside, hard on the outside. Yes, Pisces is the same, Eva. Pisces, because Pisces is, just the fact that you have Neptune in your first house, you already have like a Pisces rising. So, it's like that energy is, you don't have to worry about that energy now. You are going to be able to master it after you turn 28 because it's actually the rising energy. It's not something that you have to learn to manage with yourself. It's more like life eventually is going to put you in situations where you're going to experience the Pisces energy, or you're going to come across with a lot of Piscean experience, a lot of Neptunian experience, people people being Pisces around you, so you don't have to worry right now because of the rising. But yes, Pisces is capable of uh, a lot of things. They are the shapeshifter of the zodiac, so you don't have to worry about its influence because you can use it to your benefit. You can use it to. There's nothing wrong with Pisces energy. I think that there's also a misconception about Pisces energy, and I am also guilty of that because I remember I used to look down a lot like the Pisces energy because, and then I found out that I have Venus and Mars in Pisces, and I wanted to, you know, I was like really upset. I was like, no, I don't like it. But then I actually was able to connect with the Pisces energy in my chart, but definitely having Pisces placements, it seems like people don't take you seriously when you have Pisces placements. This is why I think that, yes, because Pisces and Sagittarius are ruled by Jupiter. Pisces was first ruled by Jupiter, and then eventually it was ruled by Neptune. But it was ruled by Jupiter as well. So yes, I was like, I didn't like that part of like being sensitive. And there's something that they say about Venus in Pisces that we daydream or we want the Prince Charming, and that we are so blinded that we don't see that maybe our partners or romantic partners are awful people, and that we are very easy to get manipulated because we don't see people for who they really are. And I was like, I don't think that's true because, yes, I think that just like any kind of relationship where there's feeling involved, we all get blinded. We all think that our partner or the people that we love are the best. And we all put them in a pedestal. But what I think that sometimes is a bit misunderstood about Pisces energy is that since Pisces energy talks about sacrifice, and being of service, but not like Virgo service, more like sacrifice, like being this person that, oh, you're so nice that you're going to live for others, that you're going to forget about yourself because of others, and you're going to be this saint, almost like this spiritual creature, and this denial of reality. And I'm like, I don't think that that's the right uh, description. I think that you are taking a lot of power out of Pisces. Pisces, just like any water sign, they have the potential to manipulate you and to drag you into the deepness of their waters, and you will not be able to get out. This is why, I think that Pisces would be one of the few signs that could potentially like gaslight people or ghost people, because Pisces is like, for me, Pisces is a menace, honestly. Like, because they have the intuition, but they also have this mutable quality that it makes them dangerous. Because who they are is not exactly what you are. It's like you think that they are the weak ones, but they are fooling you. They are showing you, they are mirroring you, they are showing you what you want to see in them. And it's until you have a confrontation with them that you realize how they can deceive you and how they can manipulate you. And you thinking all this time that you are like, oh, I'm stronger than a Pisces. Oh, I'm better than a Pisces. I'm a warrior. And a Pisces, it's so passive. And actually, there's a lot of force in Pisces energy. A lot of force. Yes. Exactly. Same from Wavy, definitely. Him with his moon in Gemini as well. Yes. Yes. There's something about Pisces escapism that they can definitely like trick you into believing something that they think that is suiting for them. Yes. And they are very cold if they want to. Just because they are ruled by water, it doesn't mean that they are all lovey-dovey. Because a lot of people talk about Scorpio manipulation, but they don't talk about Cancer and Pisces manipulation. They don't talk about them. And I definitely believe that they are dangerous. They are dangerous. Because yes, they don't attack you like, you know, like, oh, like Aries, like Aries is this very strong force that is like going to you, like being on your face. So it's like, oh, I'm going to fight you. But Pisces and Cancer are more like, I'm going to examine you, like I'm going to act as if I'm weak and I am hopeless, I'm helpless, like I have no way out of this situation because I don't know. And when you get all cocky and comfortable thinking that you are going to take advantage of them, they take advantage of you. You are just falling into the trap. Yes. And the best manipulation is actually to tell you all the things that they have done for you. They have the receipts. They have the receipts. Yes, Lisa is strong, yes. Lisa is very strong. Just that she's very pure. I think that she's a very emotional person. I think that she's very emotional. And it has to do with the way she was raised. I think that she is a true believer of seeing the good side of people. And somehow when you work in that industry, nothing is like what it seems. It's like I always tell you, nothing is what it seems in entertainment industry. For it doesn't matter how hard you try, someone is going to betray you. Is that why people, when I'm out in the street, want to help me? What? Is that why people want to help me? Yes, she has to be strong. She is in YG. Oh, I get it. They are all survivors in YG. But did you notice, like the other day we were talking about the Hostage Dispatch concert? Did you notice that there's no YG artist? At least not the big ones. Did you notice that? Well, I mean, their company already has people that idols that are fathers, but I mean, like the flexing, the power to say no to dispatch or to not have business with dispatch. Really? Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know. Look, yes. Um, you were talking about the Cancer rising, and the card that represents the tarot, the major arcana represents Cancer energy, is the card of the Chariot. So this is the card of the Chariot. This also represents Cancer energy. This is why the warrior has the moon. And there's one in other deck that they show like the crab as a crown. But this person is ready to move on, is ready to go where it's ready to make an advance. It's on the way. But it's all protected. This is Cancer energy. This is Cancer energy. They know of their vulnerability, they know of their sensitivity. This is why they protect themselves. You are never going to see a Cancer unarmed and weak. Never. Even when you see them fragile, they can actually be up to something. I'm an Aquarius, so my tarot card, it's also the star. Oh, yes, the star. Yes, the 16. It's just that I think I cannot show the star card because it's naked. So I don't think that actually they like like the Hangman. I believe it's Sagittarius. The Hangman. The Hangman is a beautiful card. Yes, I cannot show the star card because it's naked, and I don't think that in the world card it's also a lady that is naked. Oh, where's the Hangman? This always happens when you are going through a tarot deck wanting to find a card. Always the card that you want to find, it's or either at the end or it's hidden somewhere. He was here. Oh my God, they always do this. Always. They hide. Not my carving news. Jumping from Stray Kids have a lot of Leo place, so I feel he has a lot of water placement. This is the Sagittarius card. Well, this is not so naked. This is the Hangman. And actually it makes sense because you know, is this a Hangman? Wait. Wait. I'm counting. I'm counting. Oh, Eva, the Pisces card is the... Oh my God, it's also a naked card. It's a naked card. Um, Wait, I'm thinking about the Sagittarius. Wait. We have a Scorpio is the death card because it's the 13 card. But then we have the 14 that Sagittarius is after Scorpio. So it would be the 14 major arcana. And this is the 12. Wait, the 14 major arcana. Oh, temperance here. Temperance, guys. Temperance. The temperance. This is a Sagittarius card. You know, this is why, this is, I don't know if you can see it, but here we have the signs. Oh, you cannot see it. This is a Jupiter sign. Temperance. The temperance card. And the Pisces, I think that the Pisces is actually the hangman, because here I see Neptune and I see Pisces here in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. We have, you know, the Pisces sign, and we have the Neptune sign. Because this is sacrifice, you know, the hangman is sacrifice. But, you know, it's sacrifice. It means that he is in this position because he's willing to be in this position. And at the same time, he is absorbing knowledge. This is why when we are in a, hangman position, is because we need to absorb you know, information. You know, we need to be like this. You know, somehow surrender to the situation so we can get a better and more clear view about what's going on. Connect more with our senses. Hola. I know this is off topics, but I listened to yours and both Lions, then Tarot Karina readings, and they are very similar. Oh, really? Oh, I do follow the Lions then. I do follow her. But somehow I didn't get notifications of her readings. Oh, I should check it out. I should check it out. I find it strange that it didn't came out on my... I don't know. I'm going to look for it. Yes, there's, at least from what I was able to see, there's like a resistance, you know, to... She's also moon in Cancer, so, you know, there's a resistance of her to understand that she has to adapt to certain guidelines, you know, that there are some things that somehow people are requesting of her. I don't know exactly what is it. I don't know if it's the audience themselves, you know, that they are asking Karina to show like a different side of herself, or maybe to be more present. Like, I don't know, because I do not follow Espa. Like, I wasn't able to, watch her body language. I know she's gorgeous. I heard she's the leader, so I don't see nothing wrong with her, actually, to be honest. I didn't see like cards of suffering, but definitely people seem to be like, it seems like they put her in this high pedestal and somehow now they want to bring her down. So even for her, it's a bit like she doesn't get it either. Like it seems like it's a bit confusing for her as well. Like, okay, like it turns out, if you like if a few years ago I was the best, and now all of a sudden I'm not good enough. Like what's going on? Uh, but she does have like a resistance to change. Karina says, Sweetie Pie, that's always been judged harshly before debut, so no wonder she feels overprotective of herself. You will have to check, because I'm also a Patreon, but I remember getting the YouTube note. Ah, ok. No sigo a ESPA, pero he visto que han surgido críticas al grupo porque hacen playback o dicen que tienen mala presencia escénica. Most idols have Scorpio moon. I have wonder why. I don't know. I was even shocked myself, Eva. A lot of people must think that I'm really obnoxious or like too self-centered when I'm like, oh, because I'm a Scorpio moon, just like Jenny and JB and Jisung of NCT and Utah, and I have this huge list of one of the few most popular members that have a moon Scorpio, Lisa as well. Then we have, we have Jungwon also of NCT. So Shotaro also. So I think that actually what is a good placement, because it makes us very, I wouldn't say ambitious, but I think that being a moon in Scorpio, it makes me like be very passionate about my goals. Like I am able, if I connect with my real desire, I can transform my potential, and I can be, even though I'm very protective of my feelings and in the intensity of how I feel, I can also transform that energy and being very powerful, or being very like uh, tenacious. How do you say it in English? Being tenacious. I think that is very strong-willed. I think there's something a bit intimidating about our presence. Like at first I didn't understand what it was. I didn't see it in me. But when I was at work, or when I'm at work and I have to make decisions, or I have to defend my point of view, or I have to do something that I really feel that I really want to, like when I really put my energy and mind to it, I am fearless, or I am relentless, more like. I don't like to be competitive, actually, but I have to say that I do have a confidence that if I put my heart into it, and if I put my willpower, I'm going to make it. That, but I try to be considerate with others. I don't like to step on people so I can get to the top. I don't like that. But I can be relentless as well. I know this may sound harsh, but to me she gives nothing outstanding. But maybe she needs to improve, or SM needs to start giving their idols better music. True, aespa shot to popularity so insanely fast, so there are a lot of people who are jealous, who want to take them down. Banchan, Moon in Scorpio. I don't think Banchan is a Moon in Scorpio. And I noticed, Eva, I know a lot of people told me that he's a Moon in Scorpio. I probably is his Venus in Scorpio. That he does Oh, it's okay, Samara. Actually, it's your opinion. Here there's no offense. Actually, it's your opinion, so it's okay. Like, you know, um, mm, yes, you know why? Because he could be, but there's something like there's something that I notice about Moon and Scorpio people that, and even if you are a Libra, I don't care. I see it anyways. There's a lot of deepness in our eyes or our facial structure. There's something very deep, very dark in us that I usually see it in Moon Scorpio people, and I don't see it with Banchan. I don't see it in him. I see him as a true Libra, a true representation of Libra because he's so nice. He's a leader. For me, I focus on idols or groups I enjoy, so I don't judge other. I find I enjoy the best this way. Yes, of course. Taeyeon from TXT is a Moon in Scorpio. Yes, him, and we have three Moon in Scorpio uh, in TXT. We have Hyunin Kai, and we have the other guy, the guy that I never remember his name. I know his name is really complex for me. Benjum, Benju, Bomjum. I don't know. It's just that the confection of his name is not something that I don't think I heard another idol that has his name, so I struggle with his names. Beomju, yes, that one. His moon is between Libra and Scorpio. Probably it's that it's very in the middle, so it's um, and it also has to do with in what house he has it in, because the house also influences the expression of the moon, or if the moon is next to another planet. But I think that somehow he does remind me a lot of Libra, because he's just too nice. like, like he's just too nice. And we just like Scorpio people, we Scorpio moon people sometimes we do like creepy stuff, and we do make opinions or comments about horror, crime shows, um, crime investigations, investigation discovery, all about murders, psychology, the dark side of the soul. you know. Yes. Do you remember the signs of Shiny, Onyu, Shonu, Ki, Mino, Taiminchus, Curious? Cohesive group. Yes, I remember Onu is a Sagittarius with the moon in Cancer. Jonghyun was an Aries. I believe his moon was in Virgo. Ki is a Libra, a Libra or Virgo. Or I don't remember if his moon is in Libra or his moon is in Pisces. I don't remember exactly, but I know that it's a very flexible sign, so this is why he's unpredictable. Mino is a Sagittarius with a moon in Capricorn, and Taemin is a double Cancer. Taemin is a Cancer sun with a Cancer moon. Yes, Ki is a Libra. I actually did it, manually, actually. His birth chart, and for me it came out as he is still a Virgo. He, like, somehow the day his birthday is, that I believe that is like the 23rd of September, like that it shouldn't be like Virgo season. that are actually Virgo season should be over by then, but somehow he got a Virgo sun. Of course, I don't know his birth time, so maybe that changes things, but he has the potential of being still in the Virgo season. Oh, Key is a moon in Pisces. Yes, that was something. I was like, he has a moon that is very like confusing. That is like when you think that you know everything about him, he surprises you. Yeah, yeah. It's just that I remember their energies. This is why I use the astrology, because I am able to separate them with displacements, and with astrology. I'm able to be like, instead of being referring to them as, oh, these two are Sagittarius, or these two are Virgo, or these two are Cancer, um, and for me it's very necessary to use astrology. I feel like for me it's a way to give it like a deeper meaning to their energy. you know yeah, I mean, look, I don't know much about Shiny. I know who they are, of course, but definitely they make me really emotional when I read for them, because these things that happen to them, these events shouldn't have happened, should have been prevented. So I think that even if you are not a fan, you know, and I think that people forget that these guys are still working, and that you should be grateful that they are still working. Because it doesn't matter what they say about the company, but they could have chosen to just let's not. hmm it's like the parents when a couple loses a child, there's a high probability of them getting divorced or them being like decide to separate, because for them to stay together, like, and reminding each other that they lost something that they had with each other, that was somehow part of their identity together, something that they created together, that is no longer there, is too painful. So the groups that stay together despite losing a member, like in this case, of course, we are talking about a devastating loss. But we can also think about the groups that lost a member because the member decided to leave, or the member was kicked out, or the member was fired, or the member decided that they didn't want to be in a group anymore. For the people that remain, it takes a lot of courage to take the name's identity and everything that this represents and take it, because without that member, it's as if the group loses their identity. Somehow their identity is broken, and they have to restructure everything again. So we do need to congratulate them for their efforts, because for them it must be a constantly deja vu, like going on a stage knowing that you miss a member. So, and obviously for the fans as well. But I think that this is why I say take off K-pop, don't romanticize K-pop, but take off the artist while you can. Don't expect more, don't put like labels of, oh, this is right, this is wrong, because we don't know what they are going through, or what the efforts that they made to be there. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm. It's tough. It's tough. Um, and even the people around you, just like any other grief, period, you know. People around you don't know how to act either. It's awkward because they don't know, do I ask them how they feel about this, or am I being too intrusive? You know, or do I mention this person, or will they get offended? Or will they be able to talk about this member that is not here because maybe their companies, I don't know, they don't want. So they also are, people around them are also like a bit like on the defensive, you know, like, okay, well, do we bring this up or not? What do you think of being Big Bang comeback? For me, I like it so much. Yes, me too, Eva. I remember on you saying he felt guilty and that he couldn't cry, especially in front of his members after what happened. It's just that, you know, I actually, you know, whenever I lost a member of my family or friend, I was always able to cry. Actually, I'm very emotional. But when my mom passed away, you know, I didn't cry. I didn't cry. And everyone around me were crying. And I was like, you know, and I think it's because I knew she was going to die, like, because we knew that, you know, cancer, you know, this terminal disease, is something that there's no turning back. But somehow I was like, as if I was over it, you know, as if like, and I didn't think that it would happen to me. I was like, oh, maybe if my mom dies or if my dad dies, I'm going to cry a river, you know, and I'm going to cry and cry and cry. And no, I was so immersed in how to get back to work, how to get back to life. Um, And somehow I was like a bit relieved that she was gone because she was in so much pain and she wasn't herself anymore. So, but you know, it took me a lot to cry. Actually, it took me a few months. It took me like four 4 months to cry, and it was a very brief, ugly crying. You know, it wasn't like crying, you know, no, it was like a moment of sobbing and just shedding a few tears, and then it seems like I stopped myself, you know, right there, because it's too painful. And I think that this is why some people, you know, judge others because of their ability to cry. They are like, oh, maybe if you don't cry it's because you don't feel attachment to that person, or you don't feel, and actually that's wrong. Because if you are stopping yourself from crying, it's because somehow you're not letting yourself feel, and that's very hurtful, because those things that you are like resisting somehow is going to come out anyway, sooner or later, in a form of a symptom, in a form of an addiction, or in a form of denial, or in a form of being a workaholic, or in a form of, oh, I'm getting sick, I have to stay at home. But somehow the grief is going to be present because you cannot hold it in, you know. Or probably, you know, like it happened to me at work that I was like, I will never cry at work. I'm a Capricorn. I would never cry at work. Like, work is my playground. Like, why would I cry at work? And one day I was like cleaning, or I was ordering a space in the shop. And my coworker came up to me and she was telling me about her daughter, oh, because I bought this for her because this was on sale. And she was telling me, she was talking to me and I was like listening to her. And all of a sudden, and I think that she noticed that because she was looking at me in the eyes and it seems like she noticed that something in me like chain click, and I couldn't breathe and I started crying in front of her and she was talking about her child. Like it didn't make any sense. And this is why I think that somehow the feelings that you try to oppress, for whatever reason you have, eventually they get to you. And maybe someone talking about cutting onions or about cutting an apple or about their workout exercises. And you start crying. And you cry in the most unexpected, uh, like, moment. Because your body needs to release that. You need to release the anguish. You need to release the pain. You need to let it out. Let it out. And it's so hard to let it out when your role is to be strong. Or because sometimes you feel like I always felt, like this is not the right timing. Oh, I shouldn't do this because this is not right. This is not the time nor the place. Like I should be professional. And I am just a person that lost someone very important to me. So if I don't give myself permission to mourn the loss, like why am I living for? Why am I putting other priorities or other people like, oh, because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable around me, so I'm going to keep everything inside myself until I explode. So it's hard, guys. It's hard. It's hard. And you never know that is going to happen to you. You always have this theory of, oh, when this happens to me, or if this happens to me, I'm going to be a certain way. And no, it's very different. It's very different. It's very different. To be the observer of someone else's experience is not the same as being the protagonist. This is why I always encourage you guys, instead of being the observer of someone else's life, observe yourself first. Focus on you first. Thank you, Hope. Guys, my life says that we are supposed to be talking about K-dramas. Like, what's going on in here? Like, what's going on? Why do we always keep talking about set stuff? Like, I know, yes, it's okay. We have to follow the rhythm of the conversation, just like, it's meant to go that way. But let's talk about things that makes us happy, please. Please. This is my Jupiter in the first house talking. I can get a bit depressive sometimes, but at the same time, I want to have fun. Tus lives tienen vida propia, hacen lo que quieren, sí, definitivamente, sí, sí. It's weird, they have the life of their own, yes. It's just that I think that the life is built with the energy of the people in it. And I think that we all here have a prominent influence of water placement. So this is why we, yes, we get from K-drama or something funny happened, we get from this to sad things. And we're like, oh my God, like, why didn't I bring my tissues? Like, where is it? Like, you know. Oh my God. I recently started watching K dramas and I love the way they make me laugh, cry, and experience all the emotions. Exactly. You know, I follow actually a therapist that I believe that she is Korean American and she's a licensed therapist and she talks about K dramas and why it's so good for you, your soul, to watch K dramas and how K dramas contribute to your mental health. Because somehow, with those roller coasters of different scenarios and different characters, you somehow identify with them and you cry with them and you laugh with them and you feel frustrated when something bad happens. So it's a very beautiful exercise, you know, to follow a K drama or to follow a plot, you know, is healing. And the same thing happens with K-pop. The same thing happens with K-pop. If you focus on your idol performance or witty comments when the cameras are on them, when they are doing V lives, when they are on stage, when they are performing, you focus on those content. Don't obsess with what's going on behind the scenes. Don't obsess with, oh, I wonder why or she are going through this because I want to know if there's a conflict. And if there's a conflict, I want to know how they're going to resolve it. You know, like, you are missing the point. The point is for you to have fun. You know, the point is for you to enjoy K-pop, to be entertained, not to worry about them. Because they are very much in their power to decide if they want to belong to this industry or not. So they are not these powerless children, you know, like sometimes people, like, you know, they have this perception of, oh, they need to be protected, they need to be saved. They are working, guys. They are working. And yes, this industry is awful, I know it. But it's their industry. Is their industry. So them, just like any of us that we had always been stuck in a job that we don't enjoy, we always, you know, I always like had these moments when I was at work in some place where I was like, oh, I don't want to come here to work anymore, but I have to, because I am responsible and because I have bills to pay and because I have a trajectory here, because I have so many years invested here, because I like my coworkers, or because this is my calling, like, and I'm going to, yes, I'm going to experience a few feedback, a few like step backs, but at the same time I'm going to be okay. So sometimes you need to be a bit more, like, have a lot of faith in your idols, you know, like they somehow they are going to be able to find the tools. But if they are still in the industry, it's because they are focusing on what they want, you know, they want to be here, they want to be in this industry. And yes, it's not perfect, but it's the rules of the game, you know. Water placements. I'm a double Sag with Moon in Gemini. Oh, I agree with the therapist. I've been indulging for that reason in K-pop and K-dramas, and I can feel healing. Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes. Especially with all this Sagittarius and Moon in Gemini, you definitely have this very strong need to diving into different cultures and other languages and different like scenarios, different lives, different ethnicities. I don't know what country you're from, or what's your culture like. But if Korean, it's very like new to you, just like it was for me, that I didn't know much about Korea, honestly, guys, before entering to the K-pop scene. Like I often like confuse them with Chinese people. Like, honestly, I think that in my country, if I ever was like had a sort of education in history, I would remember mostly Japanese history, maybe a bit of Chinese, the Chinese dynasty, but not so much about Korea. Like I don't remember, and for me, I had this very ignorant vision that for me Korea actually was like this whole country. I didn't know it was separated of South Korea and North Korea. I thought that it was just one Korea, like. And eventually, I got into K-pop, and I learned a lot about them. But I always honestly like expressed like I was ignorant of a lot of things about their culture and about their history, especially, and how everything that they struggle with. So, what K dramas are you watching, guys, currently at the moment? Oh, I'm in the U.S., Native American, Filipino, Portuguese, and oh yes, keep studying. That moon in Gemini of you will be very, very pleased if you keep absorbing knowledge. Just do it. Absorb knowledge. Create networking. Like, like expand your vision. Don't get caught up into just one culture or one way of living. Of course, that you do have a lot of like different, diverse influence of. Maybe you are a bit more open-minded than other people. Just like me, like I always say, if people want to be racist with me, you cannot be racist with me, because actually I'm the mix of a lot of cultures, a lot of races. So it's like, I have a lot of races in me. So I don't, I don't get offended. I have a few of a lot of, my whole ancestry is a carnival. I have currently gotten out of watching K-dramas because they are really long or repetitive. Yes, yes, some of them are. Like one episode is an hour long, and I'm in school. Yeah, you know me. I don't like especially the romantic ones. I try to watch it because I do love thriller. So sometimes I do scare myself. Sometimes I get a bit like too dark when I watch a lot of thrillers, or, you know. Um, but the romantic. Oh yes, I actually liked Business Proposal ending more than the 20 25 21 or 21 25. I don't remember the order, but I didn't like the ending of 25 21. I didn't like it. I was like, I felt like I spent, I don't know. But Business Proposal, I definitely did like the ending. Mm. But I'm still waiting for Goidam. Why does it take so long, Rim? You and I, we are all waiting for that. Why does it take so long? When is it? Is it the 28th that is going to be premiering? Oh, I'm still watching the Business Proposal. Oh, I did watch Yaksha. I did I played the other day the Yaksha movie because I knew that it was got Seven Jin Young, and then the guy of Squid Game that I really like his acting. But oh my God, Samara, I fell asleep twice during that movie. So I decided to start over the next morning, but I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it, I swear. I couldn't finish it. I don't know. I don't think it's about the length, you know. I don't think it's about how long is the movie, because actually I was really excited because since it was like an action thing, I was like, okay, well, for 2 hours, okay, it's going to be interesting. Um, yes. Oh, you know the I didn't know if I wanted to take him seriously, you know, like I really wanted that movie to like to I wanted, but you know, he became this sort of superhero, like he would be everywhere, anywhere, you know, and he would like come on, if you're going to make him that powerful, at least divide the power between the other character. I don't know, but it was him was very like protected by all the gods. Yumi sells Forecasting Love. Oh, I watched Forecasting Love and Water, yes. Navilera, Military Prosecutor Doberman, 2521, Business Proposal, Nevertheless. Oh, Nevertheless, yes. Oh, Nevertheless. Yes, yes. I also watched Han So-hee in an action film. I'm forgetting the name. Oh, yes, My Name. Yes, it's very similar to the series that I've been watching or I watched. Yes. Yes, except Navilera. Navilera I didn't watch yet because my friend told me it's a bit sad and I don't want to get sad. Like, I'm sorry, but you you know there's something going on, especially with me, when I know that there's a potential of someone dying or having a disease, you know, like I think that maybe because of the pandemic and everything, that there's this very strong fear of death and disease and losing a loved one. So if I know that they say that, you know, someone is going to die or someone is going to get diagnosed with a very debilitating disease, I'm like, no, please. I'm not going to watch that. Like, no. Oh, Uncanny Encounter. The prosecutor pissed me off. Like, he was more concerned about getting this information instead of staying alive. And I was like, but what is the information? You know? I swear, I felt the same, Samara. I was like, okay, like I get it. You definitely want to do things right because you are this righteous person that wants to do things right, just like all the prosecutors on the K-dramas, you know. But somehow he was turned into this very annoying, like he was, like you said, he was everywhere, you know, like that, like this, like as if he was this sort of annoying child, you know, he was everywhere, everywhere. So yes, I didn't enjoy it either, like oh yes. How's Sodomic no Key so far? I actually like, I think I watched until the third episode, and then the website that I was watching it on, like I had trouble logging in, and like I couldn't get rid of those ads and stuff. so I stopped watching. But I'm still looking for a good Japanese like series because oh my, like I love Kento, but you know, I cannot wait for Alice in Borderland to be again. I enjoyed when they was bullying him, and I feel like Jin Young acted really well, and the other guy with the ponytail exactly. Yes, I liked these two guys acting too. I agree. Yes. Um, but yes, it seemed, like, sorry. It seemed like everything was pointing at this guy being, like, he got out of a lot of situations during a whole hour and a half that I was so, like, a bit tired, like, come on, like, are you a cat? Like, how many lives do you have left? Like, like, have you watched Shadow Beauty? You know that I did mention it the other day. If you like creepy, mysterious thriller, but with high school kids on it, Shadow Beauty is great. Continue Todome, it has gotten best actings. Oh, okay. There's Continue Todome. Other K-dramas I love this. Love Shuffle. What is it about Love Shuffle? Love Shuffle. What is your favorite gender of K dramas, hope, or of movies in general? Like, what gender do you like the most? I don't know how to say it. Actually, it's not gender, it's genre. Genre. I don't know how to pronounce it. But you know what I mean. What type of movies do you like? Like horror, romance, comedy? I am a thriller fan. I love horror and thriller. I am so creepy, I know. Like, but sometimes, every once in a while, I do watch a K drama with a happy or very positive vibe, so I renew my energies. I feel like the one woman in the wasn't necessary unless she was punching someone in the face, which made her unnecessary, I guess. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Oh, genre. 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 Yes, it's true. I like a little bit of everything, but do like fantasy more. Realistic take on adult relationship. Very fun. Oh, okay. Genre. Ah, okay. Genre. Yes, that's one that I struggled with. That I was like, I'm going to write it down. But yeah, and for casting Love and Water, I actually enjoy it a bit. Like I like seeing Song Kang actually playing the nice guy type of role. Um, but I did find him a bit annoying at the beginning because I was like, "You are too nice. Like, why are you following her around? Like, those are the things that I think that K drama just take it to the very intense like side that you have the female lead, the male lead, that whether he is cold and distant and ignores you and is rude to you, or you have the one that is this devoted blinded, love, hopeless, romantic that follows you around like a puppy. There's no middle ground. There's like these two, like okay. When you're speaking up, especially love, mystery, and science fiction, and dramas with a strong female roles. Yes, yes. That's why I love. Have you watched the K drama that is called A Stranger? Hope. It's called Stranger. Beiduna is on it. Okay. Beiduna is on it. And the guy that does that, it's also a prosecutor. uh, Stranger season 1 and 2. It has 2 seasons. It's amazing. I swear, I'm like, after I watched Stranger, I was waiting for more K dramas like this. But I realized it's really hard to find because this was real crime, or a very, it had great acting, and I loved that, the female detective and the prosecutor. Yes, they were working together. They were like, they were like cooperative with each other, but they didn't like try to impose this romance, or this romantic atmosphere. So somehow it was very focused on catching the killer, or the person that was guilty, like resolving the crime, and actually like seeing how the justice system sometimes, yes, of course, like all the, like in real life, and also um, in uh, in 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 the movies, or that there's always these unfortunate events that happen, that actually it's hard to get justice, or to get people to do their job right and to be honest. But they were amazing. They were amazing at it. I really enjoy it. Definitely for me, the first season was better. The season 2 had like a bit of like it was like it turned a bit slow in the middle episodes, but then it went back up. Like they made it too long, like they prolonged the chasing, and how they do things. But I really enjoy that series. I was like, I remember when I watched the first episode, I was like, oh, this is so predictable. But then, as this started to unfold, it got me. Like, it's a really very well done crime kind of show. I love it. I loved it, and I have high standards because of that show. Yes, I loved Stranger. Definitely, I loved Stranger. Definitely, I did. And I don't know. They said that potentially they could have a season 3, but I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it happening actually. But I would watch it if they had. Um, but yes. And then I'm waiting for Alice in Borderland. I'm waiting for season 2 of Koidam, that has some K-pop idols like acting on it. I'm watching also Pachenko. Pachenko, is it? Yes, Pachenko. Very emotional. It's great. Hope you have to watch it. It's great. It's great. Yeah, I think it's Netflix still. I think it's still Netflix. Um, I was actually very, hmm I was actually very impressed because it started like, you know how they usually portray this character, like this very, especially when they are part of the police and an investigator or something like that. You know that they always show you like this very cocky and kind of distant character that he shows up on the crime scene and he just knows everything and he just looks around like this and he's like, oh yes, I know who the killer was. And he goes and he just knows things. He's so smart. But in this case, actually, then eventually it starts that way. He entered in the crime scene without having a permission or something like that. So you're like, oh my God, this the same plot again. The same attitude, the same acting, the same scenario. You know. But then eventually they start like showing you, like it appears, Beiduna appears on it, and they have their first encounter where she's chasing him. And what I loved actually about the stranger, it's how they made every little character of that series to matter, because you will see eventually as the plot progresses, you will start to see how every little person that is on the room or that it's somehow mentioned or appears in the plot has a participants, has like a participation. So you have to be very, like paying attention. You have to be very present while watching it. Because yes, it's a mystery. There's a mystery because there's a crime to be solved, but at the same time, it's like you have to be very present. Even if the first episode, the first episode actually was like, I was glad that I didn't turn it off, because actually it started like in a very cliche way. But then I was really glad that I continue watching, because it got really, really good. Exactly. I remember that I struggled because I tried to when they mention each other's name, and the Korean names, of course, that you are like, okay, maybe if I have uh, like uh like that I remember things from watching them. I'm like, if I observe this name, I'm like going to remember that it starts with a sort of like. But when they mention each other, I was like, who are they talking about? Like, I had to write down the names of the characters, because I was like, oh, who are they talking about? Like, like you have to pay attention. The same happened to me with when I started watching Dark. Where they had all these timelines of going back and forth of future, past, present, and I had to write down the whole biological tree. What's the serious song can with the love app? Where can see who loves you within a certain distance? Oh, yes. Would any of you use such an app if there was something like that? Mm, I think I would, if it would only ring, if the alarm only would ring if we made a match. Like me liking someone and that person liking me back. you know But I think that it would be a bit uncomfortable, to have someone else's alarm ring when you are like being close to them or near them, and I don't know, that person being, I don't know, a friend, someone that you consider a friend or an acquaintance that actually you have no interest in, because that would like be too revealing, like. Yes, like I don't know. Yes, there's something about, when when this is something about apps in general, that they are made to somehow like satisfy an instant need, like an instant gratification. And it's all about fast movements, fast results, fast content. So I think that if it gets involved in relationships, probably is going to create a chaos, because we people, we are still not ready to be that fast like an application. We are complex, we are not all the same. And I think that this is why dating apps sometimes it works really well. If I don't know, if you match with someone and you go on a date and you have a good experience, but I think that it also had led to a lot of people having very awful experiences, and because yes, you are just, matching with someone because of what they write in their bio, or what the pictures that they select to show you. So of course, that you're never going to get exactly who that person is, in reality, until you get to know them and actually spend time with them. So if I had to participate in a kind of social experiment, I would try to sign up for an opportunity to spend time with that person first. Like, to see that person face to face, to actually talk to them, to observe them, because I think that, there's something about like, the things that happen too fast or that are too instantaneous, that there's a sense of like, maybe this is superficial. Yes. Okay, guys, we are 2 hours here, so I'm going to take 5 questions today. So if you do have one, and I'm going to pull the cards and then we're going to go, because it's almost midnight here, so, you know, and you also have to move on with your lives, and if you have to sleep, you should. But I appreciate that you are all here. Thank you so much. So if you have questions, I'm going to take 5, only 5 today. You're welcome, Pope. Oh, these cards are very slippery because they are like shiny, you see? They are shiny. This is why when I try to zoom, I try to not get the reflection. But they are beautiful. I wanted to show it to you. Ah, okay, Eva. Um, I think this one is called Heaven and Earth Tarot. Heaven and Earth. Espa. Espa. Ah, are they having a comeback? Comeback. Puedes sacar una para OK Tech-OK Taeyeon. Taeyeon 2 p.m. Wow, that's a confusing name. Tech Yon of 2 p.m. That's his name, Tech Yon. Let's take the one for Lucas as well to see how he's doing. Okay, who is Won, Natasha? Because you know that I don't know much. When I don't recognize the name is because I don't know, or maybe I'm confusing him for other people. Okay, I got all the 5. Won of Monster X. Monster X Won. I knew he was from Monster X. Yes, it's just that I didn't want to assume in case there was someone else. Okay, guys, I have the 5 questions. So let's begin with Eva. Well, you got the 3 of Wands. So definitely what I think with this 3 of Wands is that you are thinking already about taking action about something. So if you are hesitating about taking action or about like embarking in a new journey, I think that you should put more action in there and go to it. It seems like okay. Oh, I will hope I will. I think that Eva, you need to like turn words into action. There's going to be a possibility for you coming very soon. And I think that probably you are already envisioning this. I don't know if there's something that you have been planning that it's slowly like being part of your reality. So actually this is showing you that you have the potential to go farther. That probably this opportunity is bigger than what you expect. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to like you see these small boats here. There's plenty of room for growth for you. So definitely you need to trust yourself. Trust your instincts, like put the effort, put the energy that you're going to do great. You are in a process where ideas are not just in your mind or are not just part of a dream. They are turning into reality. So definitely you do need to have more like a more like outgoing energy. Like don't back down. Look at the future. Look at the possibilities. You are already on the move. Don't stop. Your energy is asking you to not stop, because you're going to get into probably very passionate and very energetically demanding state of your life, when it's like, okay, come on, like let's keep going, like let's keep producing, let's keep acting, let's keep moving. So definitely, like, you're not going to run out of energy, you're going to be okay, but definitely you need to be more ambitious. You need to keep, like, don't settle for less. Don't be like, oh yes, maybe I'm comfortable because I got these 2 ones, so yes, I got what I wanted. Actually, there's more for you. There's more for you to obtain. So be a bit more ambitious, like dare to dream bigger. Okay, Espa comeback. Espa comeback. King of Pentacles. So definitely, I think that the girls are going to be very successful, and also that this comeback is going to be very. There's a lot of money here, a lot of money invested in them, in ESPA, and I don't think that this is the first time that I mentioned this. I believe that the first time I read for these girls, I actually got something very similar about the company actually not restricting resources when it comes to them. There's a lot of like money invested in the images of these girls, and at the same time there's a lot of like invest in their looks, in their style, in their ethnography, in their videos, in their choreographies. Or there's a lot of, I wouldn't say like choreography, but it's like there's a lot of like investment in props or in decoration or in products or in makeup, in clothing, in like also somehow like yes, like putting money on the girls' figures, like putting money on dressing them like with the finest clothes. There's something about them like they I don't know if they do this with all the female groups. I have the feeling that since they are the King of Pentacles, I have the feeling that they are probably one of the few privileged in that company that get this kind of resources. But somehow the company, yes, they do not hold back when it comes to ESPA. They put the money. And not only them, there's a lot of people, investors, and there's a lot of outsiders as well, that they put a lot of money and faith on ESPA's, releases. So probably it's going to be very fancy and very, prosperous and very like a good quality, good quality. They will definitely get the money to make a very impactful, at least visually, a very impactful comeback, very, very luxurious. And also they're going to, since this is the king, they're going to be successful. They're going to get the results that they want. But yes, I think that there's a sense that ESPA actually is very spoiled by the company. At least when it comes to the promotion that they get. I don't know if maybe that's true or not, but that's what I see in the cards. The female artists, they've got a better budget and treatment recently, but ESPA, since they are new and getting amazing results, I'm sure SM put more into them. Yes. Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. I see it. I see it, and I've been seeing it since the first time that I that I read. So maybe if people think that Karina or other idols have a sort of like attitude, about them being like, oh yes, I want to get this for me, or I want to get this. I think that it has to do with them actually getting a lot of like good things from the company, and a lot of, like I mentioned in my reading, a lot of being praised or always getting like the prettiest things, like they are somehow spoiled, so I think that probably now all of a sudden they want to demand something more out of them, and the girls don't understand, like why do you give us all this and all of a sudden you are telling me that I'm not good enough, like for them it's a bit confusing, But they are very well taken care of. So if you're worried about them, don't be. Because money is flowing towards them. People are putting their money on them. Okay, Taecyeon of 2 p.m. Taecyeon of 2 p.m. I don't know who that is. Or maybe I do. Because I actually was able to watch, because I watched a recent, this variety show that is called Knowing Bros. They did they did an episode with the boys members, Junyeon and Q, and then there were Monsta X members, Minhyuk and Jehun, and then there was two members of Astro, and then there were two guys of 2PM. So I don't know if maybe this guy Taekyon is one of them. What sign is he, Miss Rubia? Do you know what sign he is? Because I think that the two guys that I saw on TV, one of them was a Taurus and the other one was a Capricorn. So I don't know if maybe that's one of the two that I watched. Oh, well. Five of Pentacles. So I don't know actually what he has been up to or doing, but there's this sense of poverty. Oh, he must be the one, the Capricorn. There's this sense of, this card is called material trouble. So yes, money issues, and also feeling like you are not good enough, like you don't have the resources that you need or that you actually like think that you deserve. So somehow this is a very sad panorama, yes. But I don't think this is going to last actually a lot. He's going to do something about it. But at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of disappointment, and a bit of, like these people being left out in the cold, probably not getting the answers that they need or that they were requesting. There's like, oh, like they really don't listen to us or they don't pay attention to us, or there's this sense of like, okay, I'm here by myself and no one cares like what my circumstances are. So somehow there's this sense also of like, oh, like it doesn't matter if I'm famous or not. I feel like I'm not that productive. Like, like I want to have more resources for myself and somehow I do not have them. And I feel inferior. I feel like I don't matter. I feel like there's no one watching my back. So there's also a lot of hurt and resentment behind this. Because I think that probably this is what happens with idols or actually celebrities, that we do see them like promoting brands and stuff, and we sometimes think that this is the life that they have. And some of them really struggle financially. They are in financial trouble. Yeah. There's something also like not seeing, the fruits of your labor. And he is, but, since we were talking that he's a Capricorn, probably he's a very ambitious person, I'm sorry. So maybe for him, he is being a Capricorn in the sense that he's been, we go through moments of a lot of, feeling very down and feeling very sorry for ourselves. And we tend to, really get depressive sometimes because we want to get out of a situation, especially when it comes to money. We worry a lot about money, and or we think that our finances are a bit messy. So we do worry a lot because we are used to build a stability for ourselves. So when we don't have it or when we don't have the resources, we get a bit paranoid and we doubt our value as much because we are producers, we are the makers of our destiny. So to be poor or to be lacking, it's sad for us and it's depressing and it makes you feel like, like you are not important, like you don't matter. Especially, well, he must be very competitive as well, so things are not working out. But as you know, this is the card of the day. This is not that he's going to be in this state for so long. Maybe he's disappointed because some deals didn't go well or he didn't get the results or the response that he wanted, actually. Okay, Lucas. Let's see how Lucas is doing. The Hermit, again, I don't know if this card came out for Lucas, but whoever is asking for him or people that want to know about him, I think that we still are going to be, he's still going to be a bit like MIA, you know, because he's working on himself. He's definitely maturing. You know, I think that this guy definitely is like, if he comes back, when he comes back, you're not going to recognize him, honestly, because he's doing a lot of self-reflection. He's like really stopping and actually like working on himself a lot, you know, and probably like wondering like, okay, what do I want for myself? Like, is this really what I want? Like, do I still have the same desire as a few days, or not a few days, a few years ago? Like, he is changing. He is being, he's registering better his own needs and his, you know, his necessities as a person. And also, I think that he's also not focusing anymore on wanting to get people's validation. You know, he's focusing more on like, what can I do for me today? Like, like he knows that the answer is going inwards. The answer is not to share with others his circumstances. You know, like I mentioned in the past that I read for him, that he seemed to be this very lighthearted, very like funny, very like friendly guy, and somehow his energy is turning into this very secretive person, very reserved person, because he's like, okay, I need to focus on myself. I need to keep my matters to myself. I need to heal. I need to concentrate my energy on me. You know, he is doing a lot of healing, a lot of inner work, but also a lot of reflection. You know, I think he's going to come out of this wiser. He's definitely learning a lesson. You know, whatever it is, the lesson, he is connecting with it. He is doing the work. It's painful, it's uncomfortable, it's lonely, yes, it is. But it's necessary. It's necessary because he cannot come back being the same person. He has to mature. Unfortunately, we mature when we face these moments of crisis, or when we face these moments when doors slam in front of our faces, you know, where doors closes in front of our faces, where where we lose people, where we lose connections, where we, you know, there's this sense of that what we think we knew about the situation actually now has become a different story. So he's definitely like, okay, like I'm going to calm down and I'm going to focus on me and I'm going to, you know, build responsibility. Like, he's taking responsibility to work on himself. He's not expecting the outside or the people's perception to heal him. He's healing himself. And he's not asking for others to help him. He's doing this on his own. But he's going to come out wiser, definitely. Okay, Monster X Wuhan. Monster X Wuhan. But his energy is growing. He's not the same person that I read for a few months ago. He is growing. He's getting more in touch with his purpose. You know, he's doing homework. You know, he's working on himself. He's working on himself. Monster X Home One. Knight of Swords. So he's fighting people now. No, He's also someone very ambitious, well, he's a Capricorn, so but I think that he's going to be a bit savage, like he's going to be a bit more assertive, you know yeah. He's going to be a bit more assertive, like going after what he wants. He's feeling actually very energetic. And actually, this is very harsh, to be energetic with the moon in Pisces, like the one he has. But he's suddenly like, okay, like I'm going to be a bit savage, or I'm going to be a bit more like taking the initiative, a bit more assertive. And I think that he definitely has a goal in mind. He wants to do something or a project that maybe in the past he was a bit hesitant, like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I have what it takes. And now he's like, come on, bring all the what do I have to work on? Like, come on. And he also can be working on his communication, because there's a reason why he got the knight, and there's a reason, like I always look at how he's holding his sword. He's definitely defying people. So I think that it's also going to be a year or an instance in his life where he has to connect with the power of his voice. There's this need to say what he really thinks, and not let people confuse or interpret his message on the other way around, because I feel like him with this moon in Pisces, sometimes people confuses what he's all about. It seems like they want to put a label on him because he's not that expressive. They are like, oh, because he's a mystery, haha, and actually this is a very passionate person, and he's very straightforward, and he can be aggressive if he wants to. But it's just that he doesn't waste his energy on just some random project. He really has to really want it. And I think that there's something about this new project that he wants it. So probably he will have to get on competitive mode, because there could be other people that actually want that as well. So, he has to work on his communication, and through communication being able to, to be more attractive, and to let the people that could potentially hire him or select him, to let them know what his true intentions are. Why when in a job interview they ask you, what should we hire you, or what do you want why do you want this project so bad? So he definitely needs to come out like this very strong force, very like ready to say the right things, ready to be expressive, ready to move towards the goal, and being very fast, because I think that this opportunity actually can come really fast and just like that be gone. So he has to be fast at the same time. He has to get out of that very slow paced and like, oh, okay, I'm going to take my time to consider it, how to do this, and I'm going to come up with a plan. And no, the Knight of Swords is like, come on, move right now. Like, come on, like defeat your your opponents. Like, come on, because you have competition. So take the opportunity very fast. Like, take it. Like, don't take for granted things. Like, move, be faster. Okay, guys, this is all. What happened? Is the connection all right? Okay, guys. This is going to be the end of the live. Of course, I will try to come back, Monday as usual, the usual time. And if you can join us, I would appreciate it. And yes, we're going to talk about astrology. Of course, that I'm going to make the post so you can leave me like your recommendations about, you know, the idols that you want us to talk about, or a certain placement. So if you have a certain placement of yours that you want to talk about, like you can leave it as an example, and then I will try to find, you know, like the different correspondences if we have idols that have the same energy as you, for example. So we can talk a bit, you know, how to be able to show, to use the idol's birth chart to somehow understand our own energy, you know, because yes, they are public figures, but somehow watching them, you know, it gives you a lot of information about, you know, maybe what they have developed that you don't, you know, the potential that they have because they own that energy. And probably you do have the same, and you are not like, you still are not like making it conscious, you know, bringing it to your awareness. So it's going to be interesting, guys. So thank you so much for being here. Please take care and rest and have a great weekend. Thank you guys for being here. Bye.